Hello fellow simmers, this is Derek at FS Pro with a quick video about the Cherokee from A2A Simulations. You see me here flying along at about 1,000 feet, well 1,040 feet I guess, heading out over the Isle of Wight towards the broad sea. And what I wanted to show you here is that I'm flying along, trimmed out, hands off, flying nice and steady. I'm flying a constant heading, my altitude is holding steady, and it's purely because the aircraft's trimmed out. There's no autopilot in use here, this is just a case of trimming and occasional gentle corrections on the stick. As every good pilot will tell you, this is what we aim for as early as possible to get the aircraft trimmed so that we can be hands-free if we want to, so that we can attend to other things in the aircraft and or keep a good lookout for any other aircraft in the near vicinity. So there we are. I've been flying along quite successfully now for about a minute and a half. No problems, the aircraft's well trimmed. I'm just going to pause the sim now and talk about a problem that I've come across with the Cherokee before, and that was it had an alarming tendency to roll to the left. I had it explained to me in a number of different ways, such as P-torque or the action of the engine and engine torque and the turning motion of it and so on. But none of that matched my real-world experience with the Cherokee. The roll was a continuous roll to the left. It was really difficult to work with all the time, and it made flying it a real chore. So I wanted to find out a bit more about why it was doing it, because it certainly did not match my real world experience of flying this wonderful aircraft. So as you can see, clearly I've got it fixed. The aircraft, when correctly trimmed, flies beautifully. So what's the problem I was having? I'm about to show you. And it's so simple I could kick myself, and if you're suffering from the same problem, maybe you will too. Okay, let's have a look. I always get the wrong window. Here we go. So here for the load or payload and fuel manager, you can see there's me, the pilot, at 170 pounds, I wish, and my passenger at 137 pounds. We have got equal fuel in the left and right tanks. As near as makes no difference. There's 1 gallon difference. Okay, what I'm going to do is to reduce the amount of fuel I have in the right hand tank. I'm going to take that down to about, 9 gallons, that's fine. And in the left tank, I'm going to increase it up to almost full. In fact, 25 gallons. Yeah. Well, let's leave it at that. That should be fine. 25 gallons. So I've got far more fuel in the left tank than I have in the right. But really, that's the only difference. Let's click off that, return to the sim. Now, what I'm going to do is take the pause off. My hand's still off the stick. Let's see what happens. Wow, an immediate and significant roll to the left. We're at 10 degrees already. We're still rolling. We're getting close to 20 degrees. We're going beyond 20 degrees, and I'm going to have to take some corrective action or we'll be in the briny. So there we go, 30-degree roll there, just because I changed the amount of fuel in the left and right tanks. That's significant. What I'm going to do is apply full power. I'm going to climb up and let's see what happens where we have that same imbalance. If we leave it unchecked, what kind of a situation we'll get ourselves into. It is extraordinarily difficult to trim this aircraft when you're fighting the roll all the time, even though all I'm trying to do is to stabilize the climb. Couple of clicks on the, there we go. Okay, I'm going to release the stick now. You see I'm still climbing a bit, as I say, difficult to try and trim out. But there goes that roll to the left again. Significant and pronounced. There we are to 30 degrees. We're still going. And at 30 degrees it's still rolling. The rolling is getting worse and worse. 3,000 feet now, and we're starting to lose a significant amount of height. We're at 43 degrees and 6 degrees pitch down. Speed's increasing, we're into the yellow already. 48 degrees. We are in spin territory here, I fear. So let's come out of that. Let's reduce the throttle so we don't put the aircraft in too poor a state. Well, that's nice of NVIDIA to pop up in the middle of a video, isn't it? Okay, there we go. And let's pause. Okay, let's go back to our screen and adjust the amount of fuel. And this time I'm going to put 20 gallons in each side. Get rid of that annoying NVIDIA message while we are at it. So 20 gallons and 20 gallons, that's good. Take the pause off. And let's just see if I can get us set up. In fact, let's climb a little bit again, shall we? Let's get up to 3,000 feet on a heading of 210. Fairly stable now. And a bit of adjustment to the ailerons, and there we go. So I'm flying hands off again now, and as you can see, in fact may see better if I revert to my normal pilot view, we're doing pretty well. Little adjustment to the right again, but there we go. Elevators trimmed out, ailerons are fairly well trimmed out because of the fuel. So the question is, how come the Cherokee has got such a dumb way of apportioning fuel? I don't know. I guess the Piper company would know the answer to that one better. But I do recall now that when I did my cross-country flying as part of my PPL back in the 90s, it was a requirement that every 30 minutes, as well as doing a good scan outside the aircraft to see what was going on, you were required to change the fuel tank. The idea being to balance up the amount of fuel in each tank so we didn't get the problem we just saw. Now I'm certain that I've flown at times where I've had an imbalance of a few gallons or more, and the result has not been as pronounced as the one that we saw just now. So I do wonder whether A2A have made that just a little bit too severe compared to real world experience, but nevertheless it's nice to know that something like that is modelled, and it's also nice to know if you're suffering from the same problem that actually it's a real simple fix. Just make sure that your fuel tanks have an equal amount of fuel, switch over between the tanks fairly regularly, and you won't suffer from this persistent roll to one side or indeed the other. If you've got the imbalance going the other way, then the aircraft will roll the other way. And that's it. This has just been a very quick video to help you if you may be having problems with the Cherokee. Thanks for watching.